It's my favorite people here for my favorite subject. Now, I know that some of you have really enjoyed math lessons, and I think you're really going to enjoy this one too. I want you to use your imagination with me as we start. Imagine that you have a friend over. I know you can't right now, but imagine you get to have your friend over once we get back to normal again, and you have 3 cookies that your mom gives you to share with your friend. Well, what are you going to do? There are 2 of you and 3 cookies. Now, I'm sure you've already pictured exactly how you would do this. You would get one, your friend would get one, and there would be 1 left over. You could take that one and you could break it in half, and then you would both have the same amount. Well, we're going to do that, but with numbers today. So we're just going to share our numbers the way we've already done before. You need to have this math page out today. It is More Mixed Numbers. More Mixed Numbers, page 259 and 260. 259, 260. Let's look at our directions at the top. It says, when you find the fractional part of a whole number, the answer is sometimes a mixed number. Remember, a mixed number is where you have a whole number and a fraction. So the answer is sometimes a mixed number, a whole number with a fraction. Step number 1 to finding our answers today is divide the whole number by the denominator of the fraction. Divide the whole number by the denominator of the fraction. Number 2, write the remainder as a fraction with the same denominator. Now, we've done that before, so I know that you'll be good at doing that step. So we're going to go back to step number 1. We're going to see how we worked it. We have 1/5 of 33. We're going to take our whole number 33 and do 33 divided by the denominator 5. 33 divided by 5. 33 divided by 5, well, let's solve that together. 5 cannot go into 3, but 5 can go into 33. It goes in 6 times. 6 times 5 equals 30. 33 minus 30 equals 3. This is where we get to step number 2. Step number 2 says write the remainder as a fraction with the same denominator. This is where we're getting the denominator. This is where we're getting the numerator. Now get your pencils ready. Let's do a few examples together. Go ahead and go down to section number 1. Divide to find the fractional part of each whole number. Remember to write each remainder as a fraction. So letter A says 1/2 of 13. Step number 1, divide the whole number by the denominator of the fraction. That's number 2. 13 divided by 2. That's a simple one for us to do. We have 6. 6 times 2 equals 12. Then we have subtract it, and we have 1 left. So then we take our second step, write the remainder as a fraction with the same denominator. 1/2. This is where we get our denominator. This is where we get our numerator. We take the mixed number and write it in the answer blank. 6 and 1/2. Let's go on to B over here. And we've got this one right down here for us, so we'll go ahead and work it again. So we have 1/3 of 22. Let's look at the answer right at the bottom. I skipped that one on the first one. 22 divided by 3. 3 cannot go into 2, but 3 can go into 20. How many times does it go into 22? 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21. 22 minus 21 equals 1. Now we can go up and we can write it right here. 1, and here's our denominator, 1/3. We keep it the same. 1/3 of 22 is 7 and 1/3. There's our mixed number answer. I want you to go ahead and see if you can do this one on your own as I talk you through it. Let's think. 1/5 of 41. We write our division problem, 41 divided by 5. Good thinking. You should have gotten your answer here now. Now you've subtracted out and your denominator. I want you to think as you write the answer up here, check to see if it's the same one I put. You would have 8 and 1/5. Go ahead and pause, and I want you to do D and E, and then we'll check both of those together. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure that you've got your answers worked out. 1/4 of 29. So we do 29 divided by 4. We can think, 6, 7, 8. Which one is the closest? It is 7 again. 7 times 4 equals 28. Subtract out, and you have 1. 1/4. Our answer is 7 and 1/4. I hope you got that one. I'll give you a second to fix your answer. Let's go ahead and check our next one. Remember, stop and check your answers and fix them if you need to. So we have 1/8 of 59. 59 divided by 8. What's the closest that we could get? Was this your answer? Go ahead and subtract out. Now remember, we need to go back up and write it as a fraction. This is where we get our numerator. This is where we get our denominator. It's the same number right here. We divided by 8. This is our denominator. Our answer is 7 and 3/8. Let's go ahead and work the last one together one more time. 1/7 of 50. Now you'll see down here on this one, it should be 62. So my paper is wrong right here. It should be 1/7 of 62. So check your paper and see if it's right. 1/7 of 62. You might need to fix that one. Let's go ahead and look at this one right here now. 62 divided by 7. What is the one that gets closest to that? See if you have the right answers or the same answer that I do. Now we have to do 62 minus 56. Your answer is going to be 6. You're going to have 8 and 6/7. Let's go ahead and put our answer up here. 8 and 6/7. Like I said, this one was a little bit tricky, so we saved this one to do together. So make sure that that one lines up. Now I'm going to erase the board and we're going to scroll down on our paper a little bit so that we can do our story problem. Okay, you probably got a head start on that story problem. Let's go ahead and read through it. Sophia checked out a book with 36 pages. On Saturday, she read 1/4 of the book. How many pages did she read? We have a second question today. How many pages are left? Well, let's look at our first step. We need to find out how many pages did she read. How many pages does her book have? 36, and she read 1/4 of the book. These are the two facts we're going to use to help us solve today. So we need to find out what 1/4 of 36 is. Go ahead and write that in your box. 1/4 of 36. Now remember, when we're looking to solve for this, we could do 36 divided by 4. And I bet you've already got the answer to that. It is right, so our answer is 9. Now we have just the first part of the answer. So we can put over here 9 pages. But we're not quite finished with this question yet. It has a second part. We want to know how many pages are left. Now I want you to picture a book in your mind, just like this book. It has 36 pages. We have read how many pages with Sophia? 9 pages. Are we going to take away those 9 pages or add those 9 pages to find out how many are left? We're going to subtract them. Go ahead and solve for your answer. And you should have 27. Your answer comes over here and you would fill it in. Now in this one, remember, you probably needed to go up and do some borrowing if you didn't have it where you could think through it. Now Mr. Lee in our second one has 15 feet of oak boards and 16 yards of pine boards. So we have right here 2 different kinds of wood, 2 different kinds of measurements. How many feet of wood does he have? This is important. This is our question. How many feet, that one's very important, of wood does he have? So it doesn't matter which kind of wood. We just want to know all of the wood. How much wood does he have? So we have 15 feet, and we are adding how much? 16 yards. Now, we might be tempted to add these numbers right together, but remember we said that feet and yards are different, so we need to know how many our answer is going to be in. That's going to equal feet. Now that we've got this set up, you know how to go ahead and solve for this. We need to make sure that we're making everything into feet, so we can go ahead and come down and bring feet down on this one. That stays the same. Oh, feet does not match here. That one's different. Feet does match here. We can bring this number right down. So now we have to solve for our box. So step number 1, we're going from yards down to feet. So when we do larger to smaller, we multiply. Step number 2, we're looking for the special number. When we go from yards to feet, our special number is 3. You've got it. And then our third step, we're going to go ahead and do that. 16 times 3. And you can write it vertically or horizontally or vertically. You can do it horizontally or vertically. If you do it horizontally, remember to do 6 times 3 equals 18. Carry your 1. 1 times 3 equals 3 plus 1 is 4. It equals 48. Now we've solved for this one. We can put the answer in the box. Now we're ready to go all the way across, and we're going to add 15 feet plus 48 feet. 5 plus 8 equals, carry your 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 4 is 6. We know that he has 63 feet. So we can bring that answer over here and add it right in. I'll let you go ahead and finish up this and turn to the back of your paper while I get set up for the back of the paper. Use this rag. This one's gonna go a little bit faster. Yeah. Okay, we're on the back of our papers now. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of rounding today. It's been a little bit since we've done that. So let's work on section number 6, round to the nearest dollar. So we're looking at the dollars and the cents, and we are going to round it to the dollar. Now you remembered on our rounding hill that if it was up to number 4, we went backwards. If it was 5, we went forwards. So looking at $6.23, are we going to round the 6 to itself and make this a 0, or are we going to go up to 7? Well, we need to look at that 2 right there. That tells us that we would stay at $6 because 2 comes before. Let's look at $25.91. We need to look at the 9 right here. Does 9 go down the hill forward or backward? You're right, this one's going to go forward, so we need to go to the next dollar. This one would be $26 because we had to round forward. This next one is a little bit tricky right here. $2.50. Notice that 5 is the one that's right at the top. Does that one go forward or backward? You're right, that one goes forward. So this one would be $3. Go ahead and do the next 2, and then we'll check our answers. Okay, now that you're back and we're checking your answers, this one we have a 0 right here. So what answer did you write? Oh, say it nice and loud. There we go. $45 is our answer. And let's look at our last one. This one again, $7.90. We have that 9 right there. I hope that you went forward on this one. That one would round to $8. I think we've got the rest of our section pretty well. You've been working on reducing to lowest terms. And then for your brain booster, what number comes next in this sequence? I want you to think, is there a pattern to this? 7, 17, 27, 37. What changed as we were going? Well, 7 is the same, 7 is the same, this 7 is the same, this 7 is the same. Did you catch that pattern? We added 10 to it. From 7 plus 10 more is 17, plus 10 more is 27, plus 10 more is 37, and your brain buster there is 47. What did you do to get to that next number? You added 10. You'll go ahead and you write that right in, and you've got your brain buster today. Your homework section at the bottom is easy today. You're just going to follow the signs to do some review on your addition and your subtraction. Make sure when you are doing the subtraction on with your fractions that you leave your denominator the same so that you get an accurate answer there. Thank you so much for joining me for math class today and doing a little extra with our division problems. Have a great afternoon.